Hello and welcome to Fulfillment Therapy. My name is Maddie, Kendra Nielsen's COO, and today you'll be listening to Kendra as a guest on the Rose Homestead podcast. We hope you enjoy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Rose's Homestead podcast. Today, I have a special guest for you guys. Her name is Kendra Nielsen. She's a licensed therapist, coach, wife, and a mom of 4. She specializes in human flourishing and unmet needs. Kendra is also the host of the Fulfillment Therapy podcast, where she shares insights on marriage, family, therapy, self-mastery, and personal development. Through her work, she aims to help people nurture themselves, enrich their family lives, and live up to their full potential. Thank you for being on the show and blessing us with your wisdom today.
Thank you for having me, Alicia. I'm excited to be here and just have a great conversation.
So excited. So, I have a lot of busy mamas as my audience. Could you share with us something on self care, like maybe how incremental growth for busy parents could be implemented? Because we all need to take care of ourselves, but we're busy. Let's face it, we're super busy.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's a little bit of a loaded question. I could go so many places with that, but I'll try to break it down for you in simple ways. So I am a therapist and I work with a lot of people on how to fit in self-care. And they do feel like it's going to be this big, overwhelming thing. They have to work out 2 hours at the gym for it to actually count. There's a lot of overwhelm with it, but there's also a lot of shame that they're not doing these things. And it just feels like too much. So they get stuck. And I tell my clients to break it down. Like one of the books that I really like is James Clear. Have you read Tiny Habits? Is that
No, but I'm putting it on my list right now.
Atomic Habits and Tiny Habits? They're both very similar. Both of them, they talk about BJ Fogg and James Clear. They talk about how if you do 1% growth over an entire year, that's 37 times better. And it starts with just tiny little incremental changes. So I talk to my audience a lot on fulfillment therapy about how we can do that and not completely overhaul our life. Like it can just be those intentional small acts that can really refuel us when it comes to self-care. So that could look like I'm waiting for my microwave to finish, so I'm going to do 20 jumping jacks. That could be something really simple. Or it could be I have a break between clients, so I'm going to do 3 blocks, just a quick power walk and listen to my favorite book. Like it doesn't have to be torture. It could be just very simple things like that where it's also fun. It doesn't have to be this really unpleasant experience. Like, for example, one of my biggest values is to be the things that I want to be the most is a good parent. Now, do I always ace that? No, but I'm always trying those small ways. And my son wants to get stronger and he's 14, that really scrawny stage, but I want to go get stronger. I just don't know how. And I'm like, why don't I help you with that? If you want help, I can help you. I am a personal trainer. And so I'm like, why don't we go to the gym together and we'll just go as many times as you want and we'll just do the things that you want, like trying to put it in his court and I can teach you what you need to know. So is this going to help me get my best workout possible? Probably not, but it is helping towards my goals and of being that better parent. We just go right now because of his schedule twice a week and we do upper body and lower body. And I'm being a good mom, but I'm also doing that self-care, which is exercise, being with my son, those types of things. Like now that might be a little bit bigger thing because it's like an hour, but it doesn't have to be huge.
That makes so much sense. And that's absolutely beautiful because you're fulfilling 2 things, right? You're getting some movement and you're taking care of your body. And then you are being with your son and you are being the good mom that you want to be. That's
Right?
super cool. I like how you incorporated 2 things into one right there.
We call that a twofer. Whenever we can do a twofer as a parent, it's a game changer, right?
I like the twofer. That is super good.
Yeah.
So, did you have a time in your life where you struggled with these things, or has this always came to you pretty naturally?
Oh, that's a good question. Definitely overdo things a lot. As a parent, I think we tend to do that, but also struggling to feel like I could justify doing things for myself. I think most parents go through that. But I came to this point where I was so burnt out too, where I recognized I do matter too. And I'm investing so much in like my kids, like my time, my energy, my money, even into my kids' talents, my spouse, all of those things, like helping them achieve their dreams. But I was putting my life on hold a little bit more. And I think it was my oldest daughter even told me, she's, Mom, you don't have to do those things. Like you can do both. Like we all are supporting each other. She didn't say it in quite that way, but that was my takeaway. It was like, yeah, that's true. As parents, we love to be martyrs. We love to put ourselves on the back burner and just almost brag about it. Oh, look at me. And yet we are so exhausted. We're running on fumes. We're cranky. We're not showing up as our best self as a parent. And we are not doing anyone any favors. And we're not even talking about a huge time commitment here. Like I get up and I go to the gym at 5 a.m. And now when people hear that, they're like, oh, I could never do that. And yet that is my self-care. That's my sanity. And I tell people, I'm sure you've heard this before, but if it's important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. And so many of my clients, they find these excuses and we talk about like limiting beliefs or all of these things. Like, what is it that you really want? And if you really want it, let's break it down. And so we do. And again, it doesn't have to be an hour at the gym. It could be just 5 minutes or like a scheduled walk with a friend 3 days a week. Like it doesn't have to be terrible. I don't know if you've ever done anything like that, but just breaking it down into small, tiny micro steps that can even take 5 minutes or less.
I think that's absolutely beautiful because it's so easy to not do anything because we don't have 2 hours or we can't get away for a day. Some people might think, oh, I need some self care. I want a spa day or I want a day to myself. Most of the time, that's probably not in the cards to be away for a whole day, but we can take maybe an hour. We can at least take 5 minutes. And if
Yes.
we don't have 5 minutes, then there's a problem.
Definitely. Maybe some restructuring, throwing some things out the window. Absolutely. And also making a list of the things that refuel you. There's something that I do at the end of year. It's called a personal audit. And I go through my entire year and I look at the things that have refueled me and brought me the most joy that really make me feel alive. And I write all of those down. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to put more of those into this coming year if that served me and helped me become my best self. And it might be what you don't expect. Like for me, it was pickleball. And whenever I say that, I feel like I have to have this disclaimer, which I don't need to. But I'm not like, I didn't grow up with racket sports or anything. It's not like I'm this pickleball master. And yet it brings me so much joy. I feel like a child when I play it. And I notice that I have this perma grin. And there's a few things like that. Like when I talk to clients about it, they'll be like, I love outdoor runs, or I love laughing really hard with my friends, or I love swimming. It doesn't even have to be active things. It can be anything. I love a good meal. And doing more of those things, just sprinkling that in your week, your day, and communicating that with your kids. That's another part that I wanted to speak to. We are modeling self-care for our kids. So if we want our kids to grow up thriving and being able to advocate for themselves and show people that they matter too, that we have to show them what that looks like by our example. And that can be really hard, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that is so good. Could you share with us, maybe for someone that hasn't really focused on self-care, maybe they don't know where to start. Could you help my listeners maybe with an exercise on how to discover like how to meet their needs? Maybe help them make a list of things that would be really fulfilling to them, and then how to maybe break down one or two of those things and maybe start this week.
so I would just start with a simple writing exercise. And I love to do these with my clients, but we don't get still often enough to really go inside and really get intuitive, listen to what our mind or body is telling us. Sit down, give yourself, my favorite is in the morning when you don't have distractions. If you can carve out that time, which I know you can if you challenge those beliefs. But if you
That's right.
put that down, like maybe it's a Sunday morning or something, having this journal exercise. And one thing that I love to do, weather permitting, if it works, go to a place that feels like your peaceful place, your sacred grove, whatever that looks like. And I love, for example, I love to sit on my patio, my back patio, and it's outside, it's early, it's beautiful. I'm all cozy in my blanket. I might have some meditation music playing. I just feel really relaxed, really happy and calm. And then I'll just journal for a while. about different things as they come up. But in this exercise, I would say, what helps me refuel and become my best self? How do I feel alive? What makes my soul sing? And then just start to free write about those things. Like, when do I permagrin? What makes me just feel joyful? Now, this doesn't have to be things that all have this end result of all those pressures that we put on ourselves. Oh, I should be doing this. I should be doing this. This is just purely, I feel alive and I feel really happy. It can just be about you. It doesn't have to have every one of them as a twofer, even though those are beautiful too. But like I said, for me, that might be pickleball. That might be going on a date with my husband. You mentioned needing that alone time. I totally need that too. So I like to just have about an hour to myself a day, wherever I can carve that out, to read, to take a little power nap, to do some journaling. And I put some firm boundaries around that. And that's like a non-negotiable for me, including my workout. So I have certain things that I just tell my kids, these are my non-negotiables so I can be my best self and show up as a better mom. And that again will model to them what is important. But it all begins with spiritually creating it. And you spiritually create it in that journal exercise. And you start to identify, maybe it doesn't all come at once, but you're putting it out there. You're trying to manifest these things or envision these things. And then those thoughts will start to come to you, and go ahead and jot them down. Just because you wrote them down doesn't mean you have to carry all these things out. It just means, okay, now I can course correct. If it wasn't quite that, maybe I thought that I loved doing laps in the pool, and it turns out I don't like that at all. I like listening to a meditation while I go on a walk, like a guided meditation. And that's all I really need to feel rejuvenated.
That's amazing. And I just want to recap this because this was so good with the journaling exercise. Get in your happy place, get to in a place where you are free of distractions, preferably in the morning. And I love how you asked yourself, when do I permagrin? When do I feel alive? And when do I feel happy? I would challenge the listeners today to get some time alone in a morning because if it's important, you'll make time, right? And ask yourself those questions and start with that journaling exercise. And I absolutely loved that you have an hour a day to yourself and it's non-negotiable and you have firm boundaries around it. I think that if each of us could do this, it would change our life.
Yeah.
There's 24 hours in a day, like we deserve one of them just
Right.
to fill our cup. And then when those two things go together so well, you could spend that hour and you could work on your journaling and all the things. But I think that's such a good place to start and really start refueling ourselves and being the parent that we want to be.
Absolutely. And just really quickly with that is, think about it. Sometimes we feel bad. Like, oh no, I have to be around my kids, around my family. I'm a bad mom if I don't do this. I'm this if I don't do this. And yet, when we're so much better with some alone time, we're also showing them, hey, you could take this time too to do the same thing, like encouraging them to have time to regroup and practice those same things. So not like a forcing them necessarily. Maybe sometimes we might have to structure it for them, but yeah, there's no need to feel shame when everybody does better with a little time to refuel.
That's beautiful. I absolutely love it. So if someone, which I know they will, if they want to reach out to you or spend some more time with you, where can they find you?
Yeah, of course. You can find us at fulfillmenttherapy.org or Fulfillment Therapy on any podcast platform. We're all over the place. And at Fulfillment Therapy on Instagram, same with Facebook. You can just do a search for us for all the places. But yeah,
Wonderful. I'm going to put all those links in the show notes. And I just am so grateful for your time and your wisdom. And I am going to be taking your advice and doing the same journaling exercise. So thank you so much for sharing and helping us along the way.
and of course, I'm excited to hear how it goes for you. And thanks for having me.
Thank you. Well, we'll have to have a follow-up podcast.
Yes, I would love that.
Yes. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. As a reminder, please head over to our website to see our new and ever-increasing number of courses that we have spent so much time and effort putting together, and we would love for you to join us at Fulfillment Therapy Institute, as well as please take 2 minutes to leave us a review so that way we can continue to spread our positive ripples. Have a wonderful day, and we will be back every Monday and Thursday.